Hello and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need read for this full moon in Libra, your full moon of the year, waning to new in Aries, March into April 2021, and I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons. Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, Venus and Libra sign, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi, hey my Libs. Hope y'all doing. Hi Mari, hope all is well. Time for your waning moon read, I guess. Welcome to my channel if you are new. There's a lot going on for DrawingTheCircle Productions. In business since 1998. My book Words of Grace is up on Kindle finally. We finally got it to Kindle. It's looking good. It's selling okay, right? Links in the description box. Doing lots of videos, recording prayers from it and putting it out on my YouTube channel as well. Doing some Facebook work on my DrawingTheCircle Productions Facebook page. Doing paid and free events using Zoom and all that kind of cool stuff. So if you're interested in the company, if you've been watching for a while, you might notice that I've been bringing new people onto the channel as well. Nancy Antonucci, Lillian Carter, Mal Flanders, eventually Honey Ravenwolf might be joining us, so, you know, little by little, building the company, drawing people together with spirit, which is the corporate tagline of the company. So happy to be doing these waning moon reads. What we're doing here is an 8-card draw. One card from 8 different decks to get you clues, tips, and hints about a specific timeline, like a card of the day, but 8, and not for a day, but for 2 weeks, looking at the timeline from the full moon in Libra, your full moon, whether you're Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign, on Sunday, March 28th at 2:48 p.m. Eastern. I am in New York, looking at the waning moon till it hits new on Sunday, April 11th at 10:31 p.m. Eastern. So we're looking at a waning moon, what you need to let go of, release, reduce, minimize, push away, alchemize, shadow work, all that kind of stuff. I use the language of alchemy, particularly using Caroline Myss archetype deck, because the shadow and the light attribute of an archetype, it's lead and gold. Lead has 3 more atoms than gold, so you can't destroy those 3 extra atoms. They need to be transformed, released, let go of, hence waning moon. Got it? Cool. All I can ask from anybody watching any of these readings is standard YouTube reading rules apply. It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs to get more information about what we are about to look at, or perhaps a completely different situation that the pantheons of the divine with which I work say you need to be aware of, deal with, wane, what have you. Otherwise, if you can put both feet on the floor, that's great. I will do the same here and now. Focus on your breath, if you will, so that I can get you the clarity, guidance, and grace, and that you can be in the present moment to really take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Cool. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. We're introducing a new deck to this series, and I will review it once I'm done with Pisces, because I wanted to give it a run before I just gave it my Virgo critical eye, right? Kind of enjoying it though, so I guess that's about it. Ready? Enough explanation. Please take a nice deep breath, because this is what you come for. Isn't it all what we come for? Here we go, my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism, and the higher selves of all involved. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, please. What is the dominant archetype card? Give me one of these Caroline Myss archetype cards to define the dominant archetypal pattern at work within the Libra, within someone they're dealing with, within a situation. Some of that, all of that, holographically, can really play itself out that way, that they need to deal with, that they need to alchemize this full moon in Libra, their full moon waning to new in Aries, March into April. My darlings, you got the only blank card in this deck that I filled in. It is the Witch archetype. Now you can't see it on there. It's ballpoint pen on a white card and very bright lighting. But Caroline Myss gives a bunch of blank cards so that you can fill in the light and shadow art attributes of different archetypes that she did not cover, because she even says, like, you couldn't write a book on every single archetype because the book would be the size of a state, right? Like Washington State. So there are always archetypes being diffused as well as new archetypes being created. The computer geek did not exist 100 years ago, right? That sort of thing. But the witch archetype is pretty damn ancient, actually, and I think we all know the light and the shadow side. In terms of archetypal family, because this is not in any of her books, I mean, you could say it's the feminine family, except there are male witches. I'm a male witch, though I'm predominant feminine energy, right? It's really the wisdom family. The key word, or the root of the word of witch, is wit, like wisdom, to be witty, right? So it's how you use your wisdom. Are you doing it for the light or for the shadow? Now, the shadow attribute in any archetype is what you don't want to look at, or if you have looked at it and are aware of it, you don't want anybody else to know, right? So it is that shady shit. It is the wicked witch. It's using what you know and what you've experienced. I don't want to go all out and say and do harm, because that's a Wiccan thing, and ye harm none, do what you will is Wiccan. It's like, not every witch agrees to that. That's fine. Someone coming for me or my family or my kids, oh, you're going to come for me, you better sharpen your claws. Thank you, Bob the Drag Queen. Right? But so this isn't about the black witch and the white witch. Oh my god, how fucking racist is that? For starters, black magic, white magic, totally racist. It's like saying black or white or positive or negative electricity. Yeah, they're positive and negative charge, but it depends on what you do with it, right? So there's a lot of power in the witch archetype, right? But even if you don't identify as a witch, or dealing with somebody who identifies as a witch, there's definitely something here about either the right use or the misuse of wisdom and power. And that's where we got 7 more cards to clarify this, whether this is within you or somebody else. Now, I am a professional witch, and you have been for decades. You have no idea how many times people come to me and they say, oh, somebody put a curse on me. I'm like, who? They're like, oh, my mother-in-law, for example. I'll say, well, does she have any kind of training? They're like, what do you mean? I go, well, you just can't, like, hack somebody just because you wanna, right? There's work involved, and if you really understood the metaphysics of it, you wouldn't do it, right? So does she have any training? No. So maybe you're just having a run of luck, honey, good or bad or indifferent, right? So a lot of people, yeah, if they're not initiated, and doesn't necessarily mean into a covenant or a tradition, but if they're not really in the know that we are the first shamans of the planet, right, whatever you want to call it, take you from womb to tomb. Check out the song A Hymn, H-I-M-N, to Her, H-E-R, by the Pretenders. You'll see what I mean. All right. We ready to do this? Let's ask the angels with this witch archetype. Please take a nice deep breath. Please, my beloved angels and archangels of air, the Raphaelites, elements of the east, powers of air, who or what is the healing angel, individual or legion of healing angels this Libra needs to alchemize this witch archetype from shadow to light, from lead to gold, from toxic to healthy in their life, this full moon in Libra, waning to new in Aries. Trust. The healing angel of trust. So obviously somebody's trust here has been wounded, impaired, hurt, soiled, compromised, right? Because this might even be very much about trusting your own wisdom and your own power, right? Trusting yourself. The healing angels of trust do just that. They help you heal your trust, but how do they do that, right? They just can't say, oh, here's your trust back. And it's not that your trust was stolen or taken. It has been damaged. It has been wounded, right? You trusted in something that you didn't get your way, or you didn't get what you want. Doesn't mean that the guidance was untrustworthy. Just saying, as a witch, please. If witchcraft and magic worked the way that it is on TV, no one would be writing books about it, right? Everybody would be like, woo, hiding away, enjoying their shit, getting their stuff touched, and buying more, right? Living happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, 24/7, 365, having too much fun. To teach, it's not like that. It is a process of learning your fire, earth, air, water, your desire, fire, your thoughts, air, your body, and your actions, earth, and your emotions, water, aligning that with spirit, the 5-pointed star in a circle of the pentacle, right? So there's definitely a trust issue in play here, my Libras, and I know Libras, like I said, I have Venus in Libra. Ooh, we can put that on the scale and go back and forth and back and forth and back up and forth on that before we ever make a move or a decision. So call to the healing angel of trust. Start healing your trust issues in terms of, I would say, the divine, right? Trust in yourself. Like, get right with you first. Because right now, this doesn't really seem like a soul contract read, but we'll see. Keeping with the Angelic Kingdom, we're going to do the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno, dedicated to the voices, or I should say the voice, of Archangel Ariel, one of the three archangels of the North, along with Uriel and Oriel. She is the Archangel of Lyons. The name Ariel means Lioness of God, and I'm Angelo Lyons, so, you know, you roll with it. Breathe. My beloved Archangel Ariel, please one card in clarity for the Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, dealing with the witch archetype, light or shadow, and the healing angel of trust that they need to work with. What is the crystal oracle? Maybe the stone itself, or what's written in the book. Some of that, all of that will help them heal this. With this witch archetype, this full moon in Libra, and I get, yes, witches and full moons, I get it. Wax out, waning to new in Aries, March to April 2021. Oh, I haven't seen this one in a while. Snowflake Obsidian. I have a nice little piece of it. I think maybe even up there. Volcanic rock, right? Usually comes, well, it's volcanic rock. It's either coming from a volcano or it's not volcanic rock. But obsidian in and of itself, with or without the snowflake pattern in it, has been used for scrying mirrors and all sorts of funsy-wunsy stuff. Little portals to the underworld, and the underworld is not hell, trust me. Elizabeth, New Jersey is snowflake obsidian. Keywords: empowerment, protection, ideas, and talents. Talents. Wow. Verbal function. Empowerment, protection, ideas, and talents. You have so many wonderful inspirations, ideas, and talents that to date you have kept hidden, protecting and nurturing them within the fertile and loving landscape of your heart and imagination. And this could be part of this trust thing. Look, when I cast a spell, I don't tell anybody about it for 24 hours, right? Let it set, let it gel, let it bake, let it do its thing. Don't hand your bubble to bubble poppers, right? If you have an idea, like, I love my family. I mean, it's been a long life dealing with my family, and none of us are weak personalities. But, you know, as a little kid, I would come with this innocent little sweet Virgo idea, and a teacher and a lawyer would be like, no, that's not possible. Boop. Have you thought about that? Boop. And you walk away with a bursted bubble, right? There is something about really a witch keeping secrets, keeping things protected. And rightly so. For the last few years have been like an incubation period, a time in which you have subconsciously been collecting creative fuel to be used as a later date. And that's inspiration by inspiration. It's like food shopping over a number of years, where you're gathering in these ingredients and you don't know why until you get them all in one place. And you go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Well, that time has now come. You will soon begin to express and empower your ideas and inspirations as you discover practical applications for them in the physical world. It is time for you to shine, so don't hold back any longer. Excellent. Now, so look, so this trust could be trust in the divine, trust in a larger plan, trust in your own creativity, trust in your own intuition, but certainly, I mean, there's so many other archetypes that could have come up with this. Like the artist, it's the same idea of gathering inspiration and keeping it on the down low so that no one steals the idea or pokes a hole in it or contaminates the idea. But with the witch, there's some element of magic going on here that requires protection, maybe not so much that kind of protection, right? I just threw a rune, but more sort of like, you know, it's like, all right, this is my thing that I'm working on. This is my own wisdom I'm cultivating, my own thing I'm creating. And I don't need anybody to know about it right now, because I need to trust my own. In other words, if your gut's saying, soft divine, light of touch, speak ye little, listen much, thank you, Dorian Valiente, you could be like, oh yeah, I'm going to trust that. And I am going to keep this to myself, because I'm going to find a practical application. I'm going to find a way of taking this inspiration, this wisdom, this whatever this is about, and bringing it into physical form without too much interference or disruption. Liking it so far. I still don't understand why the witch archetype. Well, I am a witch. Remember, you can have the witch archetype and not identify as a witch, right? Like, what was her name? Medicine woman, Dr. Quinn Medicine. It's like shaman. It's just, I won't claim the name shaman. Too much cultural appropriation going on anyway. I almost merged those two words today. Culture appropriation. Breathe. We got one healing system on the table, right? Doing 8 cards, 2 healing systems, 2 tarot, 4 oracles. We got 2 oracles and a healing system. Let's get our 2 tarot on the table. Daughters of the Moon Tarot will track what's going on inside of you, yin side of you, rather than yang side of you, that you need to be aware of that's connected to all of this. Please take a nice deep breath. Oh, my beloved goddesses of air, the divine feminine, half the universal energy, please, 1 card in clarity, elements of goddesses of air in the sign of Libra, please, for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading, dealing with the witch archetype in themselves, someone else, a situation. Angel of Trust needs to be called in with Snowflake Obsidian to protect ideas, also to give it grounding and practical application when the time comes. What do they need to be aware of inside of themselves? Chakra coordinates, heart, throat, third eye, and crown for this full moon in Libra. Their full moon waning to new in Aries. Okay, 8 of Cups on the inner, deep introspection. Maybe walking away from something, but more walking into the self, which certainly speaks of this protection. Look, if you've got something cooking, then this is really saying there's an innate wisdom in you that's saying you may not be able to trust everyone around you in this. Really trust yourself. Call upon that healing angel of trust. A simple prayer. And by the way, Snowflake Obsidian is not horribly expensive. You could get it tumbled if you wanted. It's not that hard. And I would think it would be very hard to reproduce, right? Unlike some other stones that they could pour with a resin or something. To really say, all right, healing angels of trust, help me heal my trust issues here, because I don't know who to share this idea with. This is delicate. It's like a souffle in the oven. I don't want to disturb it, and I don't want anybody disturbing me. So this 8 of Cups being called inward. And you know, this 8 of Cups, it's a woman who took a boat carrying a torch, rowing to an island. Hard to row with a lit torch in your hand, I'm gonna guess, not that I've ever had to do it, following a trail of cups into a cave, right? So it's the word on the card is withdrawal, but it's really pulling inside of the self. And some of those cards are cups. Some of those cups are standing up, but 2 aren't. They are spilled. So that could be some of that chalice of trust has been spilled. So there is some kind of shadow work going in, dealing with pulling back from the world to protect yourself, perhaps, or to protect whatever it is that you're trying to manifest into form here, giving it a practical form here. So I don't think there's any huge violation of honor to keep something under your hat, so to speak, until you're ready to reveal it to the world, or maybe not ever if it's a real personal thing going on. Well, okay, I hear that, but also some of you might very well be witches and are not telling people about it because they just don't get it. And honey, that's why I came out of the broom closet so young, because I don't give a rat's ass. People have come for me, I'd be like, yeah, you're gonna come for me? Let's talk comparative religion, shall we? How about the death and rebirth of the sun god in pretty much every ancient culture? And they're just like, oh, you've read a lot. I'm like, yeah, I come from a teacher and a lawyer, baby. So maybe this is playing your cards very close to your chest in terms of your own emotional thing that's going on here. Let's use Mythic Tarot. What does this look like on the outside? Either how you appear from the outside looking in, or some element in this situation dealing with the root sacrum of the solar plexus. The lower 3 chakras help you navigate the physical world. So let's see what this is about. Breathe. Second of the 2 tarot decks, please, my gods of air and the sign of Libra. Please, 1 card in clarity for the Libra collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of, considering they are dealing with the witch archetype within themselves, somebody else's situation, all of that. Some of that, they need to call in the angel of trust to heal that. They need to work with Snowflake Obsidian to protect this idea, right? Because there is expansion and grounding and practical application coming to this eventually. So I get the 8 of Cups that they need to kind of keep to themselves, withdraw, maybe even restore, rejuvenate, recharge their creative batteries here. So what is it that's going on the outside here? Root, sacrum, solar plexus, chakra correspondence. Them from the outside looking in, or something that they need to be aware of in the outer. This full moon in Libra, their full moon waning to new in Aries, you got the Magician. You got the Magician. Come on. The Witch and the Magician. Actually, in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the Magician card is called the Witch. This is definitely, I'm feeling, about you. Bringing an inspiration, 8th chakra, into the crown chakra, down into the 3rd eye. And right now, you've got it right at the throat chakra. Still chewing on it, right? Still chewing on it. Maybe you've had some emotions, right? You've put your heart into it. Maybe you're even at that solar plexus place of, can I trust my gut on this? But it really feels like if there are other people involved here, you're trying to be covert about this, right? You do not want them to know what this is. This could very well be surprise party energy. Remember, we're dealing with a 2-week period here, not a lifetime. But this says, excuse me, too much half and half on the coffee today, that this is either you or you are dealing with somebody who has some kind of manifestational skill. Now, keep in mind, if you're planning a family dinner, that's manifestational skill. People always want to make manifestation about these great big huge things. It's like, oh, I manifested a lovely day, right? So manifestation, loosen that up a little bit, because whether this is you or somebody else, maybe both, there is definitely a bringing of something into physical form, and this does feel more creative. I'm going to say in terms of a creative idea, like where you have an inspiration, right? And you see it, and you see the totality of it, but you're afraid to even speak a word. Because if you speak a word, it could start manifesting into form, right? I have that with creative projects all the time, which is why I at least write them down. Or tell someone that I can what? Trust, that I have a confidential vow with, that I can have the act of confession, vice versa, right? Back and forth there. So I get this. But you got the Witch and the Magician. Maybe I will put that in the title. Either draw a lot of people to it or freak people out. I don't care. I don't. Let's ask the Ascended Masters. Our second and last healing system, the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. You can't see that. We have to tell Mr. Kahn that the next time he puts out an oracle, it's not really an oracle, it's a healing system. Easy on the pastels and the white ink. They don't read on camera, at least not on YouTube. Breathe. Yes, my Ascended Masters. Hello, hello, hello. Please, my Ascended Masters General Assembly, because I'm not so sure this is a soul contract read. Could be financial too, could certainly be creative, could be relationally based. So please, one card in clarity. What is the perfect healing mantra for the Libra collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, dealing with the witch archetype in some way, shape, or form, and the healing angel of trust that needs to be called in, and snowflake obsidian that needs to be implemented, withdrawal needing to be embraced to go inward, while the magician needs to be acknowledged on the outer, whether this is the Libra or someone they are dealing with. What is the perfect healing mantra for this air sign, right? The word tool, the mind tool that they could do to help heal whatever needs to be healed here. This, their full moon in Libra, waning to new in Aries. Overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss. Now, another sign got this because I write them down. Where is overcoming fear? The Cancerians got this one. So if you have any planets in Cancer that you didn't watch that read, you might want to check it out. I really keep an eye so far on the mantras and the stones. Overcoming fear is a big thing we're all going through right now. Course in Miracles even says that you cannot have a thought of fear without lack, or a thought of lack without fear. So put loss in there with lack, right? Overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss, which is, by the way, the truth. Whether you're aware of it or not, it might take forever, but sooner or later you transcend every loss. When fear is overcome, you are able to rest in the resilience of your soul, no matter how frustrated or inconvenienced your ego seems to be. So it's already talking about the soul, not versus the ego. The ego is the most dormant, incubating part of the soul, right? The last to awaken. It's like the anchor holding you in this third dimension, that as you grow and evolve, that too will alchemize from lead to gold, and it will be integrated into the soul, right? Sort of like all of you becoming one, right? Unity consciousness, ascension, healing, whatever you want to call it. Spiritual awakening. You are able to embrace each obstacle and circumstance as life's auspicious way of helping you become the one you were always destined to be. Now, by the way, if we're talking fate and destiny, it's a hero's journey. You just don't achieve your destiny sitting on the couch unless that's your destiny, right? There's always challenges. It's not a very good movie if the hero is just handed everything in the first scene, right? Hey, Luke, it's your dad. Story's over, right? No sense of the journey then, right? So everybody, particularly this past couple of years, come on, we've been having our asses handed, our root chakras handed to us, right? With a lot of loss and a lot of fear, particularly this past year. In overcoming fear, every loss surely inspires a gain of insight for the evolution of your spiritual journey, and that's true. I had to let go of somebody I was so very, very in love with, thought I was going to marry the person. I mean, just, but liar, pants on fire. I mean, really horrible. Like, ugh, made me the other man. I fucking hate that shit. Ugh, never again, the other man times, right? But I really got huge insight about what I will and will not do ever again. And if that person ever crosses my path again, they better come correct, or I will witch them into another dimension. You know the worst curse you could say to somebody? May you heal. The healers know what I'm talking about. This mantra is ideal for opening back up to life, healing chronic fatigue, and releasing cellular memories. And I'm going to say, like, that totally keys in with this thing of trust, right? Like, if you are afraid, then your trust is going to be challenged. And what would do that, right? A betrayal. You took a chance on something and you didn't get what you wanted, or you were expecting great big huge gain and what you got was lost, or you invested on and on and on and on and on, right? But there is no loss without gain, and there is no gain without loss. It's the waxing and the waning moon, and this is a waning moon, which is usually about letting go, releasing, and loss. So, good time to overcome that fear, but you do not have to tell everybody what you're going through. You can totally play this covert, right? Maybe even like hard at work, manifesting things in the outside world, making it happen, where inside you're like, I just want to be in stillness and silence and keep this all to myself. My interior world is my interior world. Everybody else can go pound sand while I make it look good. Libra. Okay, new deck. We are doing the magical, so magical they jump out of my hands, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Kind of digging it. It says craft, cast, activate, empower. So these are like cool. They're almost like spell flashcards, I want to say. There's not a whole lot written on it. There is a bookie book, but I said I wanted to work the cards without the bookie book for a series before I review them, but I dig them. The rhyme and meter isn't great on a lot of them, but I'm a Virgo. Breathe. The ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism. Please, one card in clarity for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this readerino. What is their magical spell card? A little clue, a little tip, a hint, particularly with the witch and the magician on the table, right? That they need to help alchemize this witch archetype from lead to gold with the healing angel of trust, snowflake obsidian, withdrawal to the inner, magician on the outer in some way, shape, or form, overcoming fear, that they will transcend every loss. What is the little piece of spell tidbit you got for them? This, their full moon in Libra. I feel you waning to new in Aries. Abundance, 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 abundance. Goddess of abundance divine. Sorry, I just had a pink flamingos flashback. Goddess of abundance divine. Let me thrive, let fortune be mine. See, bad meter, but a good idea. Let's see, how would I fix that? Goddess of abundance divine. Let me thrive, let my fortune be mine. See, I would say goddess of abundance shine, let me thrive, fortune divine. Because I'm a witch. But abundance, all right. So look, this could have a financial aspect to it. This could be about support. This could be about, you know, because abundance isn't just about money. Really, the word means extra. I mean, there's more to it than that. But usually if you have an abundance of time, it's like you got too much time on your hands. Because I got too much time on my hands. Ooh, look at that eye. Can you see that eye? It's staring at me. Bosco, why'd you torch the house? Laughing at me. Little eye staring at you there. This card of abundance definitely has this vibe. There's a lot at stake on this one. This could be a financial thing as well, where you have to keep something a little on the covert, a little on the down low here. Probably a creative thing, a business move, something like that. But something that you're really, really like crossing your fingers and kind of casting your lot for abundance. So Goddess of Abundance Divine, let me thrive, let fortune be mine. Even though the meter's not right. Because I'm a fucking stickler and I studied poetry structure in high school. AABBA. ABBA. Yeah, no. Change your mind. I'm not the first in line. Go clean yourself off somewhere else. Shall we? Last card down. Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of the higher selves. I really do like this new deck. I got it at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs, visiting my family. Hi, Veronica. She's not a Libra. Someone say hi to Veronica if you know her. Shall we? Let's see what their higher selves have to say. Now, again, I'm not getting that there are other people necessarily involved here. Of course, there are going to be other people involved. So we'll still ask for the higher selves of all involved to see, because this, as a last card down, Whispers of Love can be a real party turner. All of a sudden, this is going to be about a soulmate or some shit. Breathe. Yeah, the higher selves of all involved. See, I don't know. I mean, if anybody should relate to this reading, I'm Venus and Libra. I'm a witch, and I got the magician thing going down, and I don't know. So please, one card in clarity, whether I'm in this reading or not, from 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, the higher selves of all involved for the Libra collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, what is the whisper of love, the piece of information, inspiration, or insight they need to help alchemize this witch archetype from shadow to light, led to gold with the healing angel of trust, snowflake obsidian, internal withdrawal, magician, which really I'm getting that there are things that they can do on the inside that are going to flow out into the outside there. If they can understand that they will transcend every loss, really reducing some of the risk here so that they can trust. And with this Goddess of Abundance Divine, let them thrive, let their fortune be mine, be theirs. What you got for us, higher selves of all involved, for them, their full moon in Libra, waning to new in Aries? This now makes sense. Ask for help. Ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. Which is interesting, because everything else here is about, oh no, I can do it myself. Look what I can do. No. Shh. Soft divine light of touch, speak ye little, and get the fuck away from me, right? There definitely is a defensive energy here. And look, there's nothing wrong with warding your house. You know, there's nothing wrong with a little magical jewelry here and there, right? A little LBRP, lesser banishing ritual of the pentacle around your house. Let's sprinkle a little black salt on the sidewalk outside. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. A little hot foot powder. I have such a simple recipe for a hot foot powder. I should really be merchandising that stuff. But anyway, not that I use that much anymore. I live alone. But to ask for help, it seems very contraindicative of everything else here on the table, right? It's almost like what you don't want to do. So let's put this together. I will give you the blessing, because I get that you're probably dealing with something that is of massive importance, right? Import to you. But it might be too much for you to carry all on your own. You might need to actually confide in somebody here, my Libras. And if you've been burnt before, not the easiest thing to do. So here we go. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, maybe it's a witch having to trust a magician or vice versa. Please, my pantheons of the divine, may the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign be blessed with all that they need this full moon, their full moon in Libra, waning to new in Aries, that they may work with the snowflake obsidian that they need to protect the ideas, right? To keep their creativity somewhat sheltered, somewhat contained, so that it can find a practical application, so that they can eventually ask for the help What is it they really need help with? Can they be willing to allow themselves the support they need, even if that's from the divine? Because certainly this withdrawal, that maybe they pulled back a bit too far to guard and protect something here, unless that going within is to find source within them, to find the divine voice within them, so that they will understand, overcoming fear, that they will transcend every loss. And if they really look back, they will see that they always have, bit by bit, day by day, moment by moment, so that they can heal with the healing angel of trust, to restore to them their trust in themselves, their trust in their path, their trust in their inspiration, their creativity, and so that their abundance can come in. Goddess of abundance divine, let me thrive, let fortune be mine. In terms of alchemizing the lead, which may be repelling some things, blocking some things in their life, into gold, attracting, drawing, and electrifying things in their life. In terms of dealing with a magician, whether this is them or themselves, that they are able to pull the magic out of themselves, to be the channel of the divine, to take the inspiration down into information, into choice, into emotion, into willpower, personal power, into physical form, manifesting it for their well-being, their healing, for the well-being of anyone else involved here, while they play perhaps just a bit more close to their chest, asking for help as they need it for the well-being of all. So mote it be. So it is a little bit of a complex read there. And like I said, a real party turner at the end here. Little Tina Burner going on there. Ask for help, because everything else is sort of saying, oh no, but I get why. You probably asked for help once and somebody ripped you off. Took your idea, ran with it, destroyed it, despoiled it, whatever. Just not getting a very sexual romantic vibe here. But remember, the witch archetype, whether you put it in the divine family, which is a possibility, depends on the witch, or the wisdom family. If this is you, you are going to learn how to trust your own wisdom, your own gut, your own guidance, your own grace, and your own gods for the well-being of all. So may you be blessed with all that you need, right? If you liked it, like it. You want more, subscribe. You want to comment, please do. Share it all over God's creation. And read my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. I think you'll dig it. I certainly am enjoying having my first and only Kindle so far out there, but if it sells well, oh my God, we got so many other projects to do. So thank you for watching. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of my leaves for this, your full moon in Libra, waning to new in Aries. Farewell, and blessed be.